ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon, also known as Branmatt, and I'm here for another StarCraft II replay. This time, this replay is going to be between Team ROOTPUck, spawning up here in the top right-hand corner, and Team ROOTslush, spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner. And I don't think I mentioned races. He is the red Protoss player, Puck is, and down in the bottom left-hand corner, as our blue Zerg player is Slush. So, both from Team Root. I'm guessing this is probably a practice match. They might have met on ladder, but my guess would be that this is indeed a practice match, but we'll see. It's a fun game nonetheless. So we're going to be watching this. Puck is going to be throwing down his first pylon in his natural, so this does indicate some sort of Forge fast expand. This might even possibly be the 7-gate Immortal all-in play that's recently become popular. We'll have to see. But he will be going for an earlier expand, indicated by that pylon. And ROOTslush here just droning up. Typical Zerg thing to do in the earlier game, getting out his overlords there. And we'll have to see when he throws down his pool to indicate whether or not he's going for earlier Zerglings. It looks like he will just at this point be focused on an income-based play. And the spawning pool will go down here now on 13, so an average pool timing there, so he will be throwing that down on 13 food. And Puck just getting some probes up himself. He might be going for 17, it looks here, before he actually throws down a Forge. He might do 17, then Forge, so he will be picking up that first mineral there. And 2 overlords out, 1 now down in the natural for Slush. Slush will probably be throwing that expansion down now on 14 supply. Probe will immediately scout it out and will be watching down at that base. This overlord is going to be moving out towards the natural base as well. We'll immediately scout that. And I don't know if he got any, aside from that, I don't know if he got any scouting initially. Sorry. So that overlord is his first scout. That's the first time he's going to be able to see anything that's going on over here in Puck's base. And he will immediately going for that Forge there. He has 2 pylons down in the front and will be throwing down that gateway. So this does indicate probably he might be going for that 7-gate Immortal all-in. Might be throwing down some cannons sometime soon as well. And those Zerglings will chase the probes out of the probe. Messing up all over the place, but that those 2 Zerglings will chase the probe out of the base there, but the probe does now know about that second base, does not know about this third base, so Slush going in here for a very big economy-based play. Does not yet have any gases. Again, we'll just be droning up at this point. And Queen moving around there, but we do see this Overlord. He's going to see generally everything that goes on. I think he's right outside of range of that cannon, so he's barely going to survive, but he's going to be able to still get all that information regarding the builds and what units are out and everything like this. So that Overlord is placed very well, and no units will probably be coming out for some time now, but Puck will be throwing down that cybernetics core as well right after the gateway to make sure that he's able to get that warp gate research up. He also has the 2 assimilators, so this does heavily indicate, I think, that 7-gate Immortal all-in push that he will be doing against Zerg, which does work out very well, but it is very committal. You can still fall back from it, but you have to know exactly when to fall back and have to be able to defend against whatever your opponent might throw at you. So Slush here, the front of the base, checking out here, won't be able to move in with that Zergling as that cannon would deny any form of scouting. First out being thrown down as well in this small little gap here. He will move out immediately and might kill off. Nope, that Zergling will be pulled off immediately, so that Zergling of Slush will stay alive. Meanwhile, we have this Overlord moving along across the map. We'll probably be sitting at about this base here, which could become a third. I mean, really, you can throw down a third anywhere, but we typically don't see this being taken until a 5th base. You'll see the 3rd base go down here, 4th base go here, and then the 5th base will go up here. Typically, you can throw down hidden expansions up here, or just a 6th base, something along that line. And Overlord again, moving around and scouting, being sure to stay outside of that cannon's range, and also getting that warp gate research up as early as possible. The income is looking to favor our Protoss player Puck, who is pretty much similar on minerals, but in terms of gas definitely has that lead there. And we see a total of, I think, 2 gases at this point for Slush, who will be mining with all 3 drones in each one of them. And at this point, really doesn't look to have any units aside from those 2 Zerglings. So he's definitely going for heavy economy. We see 50 drones to 40 probes. But again, definitely favoring the economy at this point, or income. Is not favored in minerals, but in terms of gas is ahead for Puck. And he will just be throwing down some gateways here. We see a total of, there you go, there's 5, see, yeah, 3, 6. So there's 6, and then here's the 7th gate. He also has that robo out, and does he has a warp prism out. So he'll be able to start warping in zealots or something along this line to kill off some of those drones in the back. And 2 more gases going down here in the main, and 2 down here in the 3rd base as well. So we're going to be seeing a lot of gas income come sometime soon. If we look at all of his structures, he is throwing down another macro hatchery, also has his spawning pool, but aside from that, we do see a roach warren, so he might just be pushing with a large amount of roaches sometime soon. And the creep spread starting to come out from Slush, not heavily pushed out, but is good for this point in the game. And we'll start pushing that out across the map. Roaches are a little slow, but will allow them to move throughout these bases. The bases are nicely connected with the creep there, except for this, but it's not too far away. And wow, all of these zealots being warped in here will be going down. This main base will probably go down. I mean, even if he does pull in units, as long as he target fires, he probably will take it down, and that main base will go down. And these roaches will be pulling in and start attacking some of those zealots, but there's just been so much damage dealt at this point. That hatchery will go down. They can still mine to this macro hatchery here, but that'll be a much longer mining distance. And the warp prism does actually go down. That queen is probably going to pick off this final zealot here as well. So this hatchery will be going up, and these drones will be able to mine directly to this macro hatchery, which isn't much of a problem, but will definitely slow down your total amount of income until this base comes. Just the longer mining distance there could be a little problematic. These roaches moving out here might be moving just around the map, see what's going on. Overlord placed here. This is typically where your units will automatically path, so we'll be able to see any units coming along here. And we see this force here at the front of Puck's base. He is getting immortals, which will help definitely. He has a total of 2 immortals at this point, which will certainly push back this roach force. And this zealot here at the Zelnaga Tower, not being taken out exactly yet, but we'll be able to see that roach force moving around. And, ooh, Puck is moving out. He could have force field there on the ramp and killed off all those roaches, which could have been quite a bit of a problem. And we do see, wow, a total of 5 spine crawlers coming down in the front of the base, the second natural, and then a total of, it looks like 7 spine crawlers in front of the 3rd base. So he is making sure this is as well defended as possible, so this will pretty much deny a lot of the attacks that might try to come out from Puck. And Puck is continuing to get those immortals out, does have a total of 7 gates, so this could be absolutely harmful in terms of amount of damage that's able to be dealt from Puck to Slush. And now that creep spread is being just pushed as far as possible, he will be moving up probably to this base, being able to get some creep spread up here, up along here, and along this path that, again, Puck's units may automatically take. And Archons coming out here. We did see that up here, the Templar Archives come out, but that is now being used, excuse me, for those Archons, and these Archons will deal quite a bit of damage. Since everything is bio in the Zerg force, it will be able to do a good amount of damage as long as this is microed very well. It can be very bad, and these spine crawlers are going to be able to deny that fairly well, but these Zerglings, quite a few will go down there, but force field I think is wasted in my opinion, didn't exactly do much damage. We'll be coming down here and killing off these destructive debris, and probably will be moving up here to the natural. Less spine crawlers here, but still spine crawlers nonetheless. Was able to scout that with that Flint Stalker, and we'll be pulling up here, putting up a Guardian Shield, moving directly in, seeing how much damage he can do, and infested for fungal growth being able to be done there. Some nice force fields here, splitting up the force, killing off a lot of those roaches, and a bunch of infested terrans being thrown down now. A lot of them will probably be killed off as well. A bunch of Zerglings here, but just getting absolutely cleaned up. These Archons are doing so much damage, and losing one of those Archons, and so many infestors out here on the field as well. This probably won't be helping much because these infested terrans are just so weak to this type of force. We'll quickly be able to clean those up and kill off these final spine crawlers, especially as they're just starting to burrow now, and all of these infested terrans probably going down. These spine crawlers just going to go down so quickly with this force, and this War Prism is able to constantly get more and more units for Puck here. This could just be a game-ending push here, able to continually push. He does not want to overcommit, but just so much damage being put out at this point. All these roaches probably will die off. Nice blink micro there for the Stalkers, pulling back these Immortals. He does not want them to die off. That's a buff with his damage towards these roaches, and just a ton of Stalkers constantly being warped in. More and more infestors coming out on the field, throwing down those infested Terrans, which are able to deal a minimal amount of damage. And Slush does successfully push out Puck from this base, but a ton of damage and a ton of unit losses for Slush being done there. And I think he definitely has, in terms of map control, Puck has definitely just taken map control, for sure. There's really no way for Slush to push out at this point with too much, because just his army is so small as compared to this force, and these Immortals are able to deal so much damage. Quite a few Zealots that are able to soak up some damage as well, but this force from Slush is dying so quickly to this army, and he might want to blink back, or instead he will continue to move forward, constantly blinking, so making the best use possible out of the Stalkers. Not the most, well, actually, fairly good blink micro here, moving forward, just killing off so much of those forces. Really all that's happening now from these infestors is constant infested Terrans being thrown down, but just killed off so quickly. And all these Warpins, now from the Warp Prism at the top of the ramp, this could just be so much damage, and all these forces going down. Slush could be in a lot of trouble, and I just don't think there's a way for Slush to push it back. At this point, Puck has the map control and just has so many forces and so much production. This could be game-ending, losing a ton of drones to tanking there. Slush could be in a lot of trouble, and I expect a GG out sometime soon. These final roaches being thrown down there, but GG. So congratulations to Slush for pulling off this game, or excuse me, for Puck for pulling off this game against Slush. Both, again, from Team Root. I do not know if this was a ladder match or if this was just some practice match, but it was a fun game to watch nonetheless, going for 7 gates and an Immortal, pushing forward there, just throwing down a third base. So, I mean, well, he has down a third base. He's had it for a while, but he did not transfer any probes. Didn't really need to. He was still mining perfectly fine out of both of his bases, but the Warp Prism and just constantly reinforcing that play. Puck, as soon as he moved forward, ultimately took map control, and expanding at that point for Slush would be a huge problem, and able to just continually push in there and cause so much damage. So congratulations again to Puck for winning the game, and to Slush for playing very well against that play. He made it look very risky to Puck at certain points in that game. So GG to both players. Thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you enjoy. If you want to see more, I'll be trying to do some Heart of the Swarm content as soon as possible. I'm definitely trying to get some replays from that, possibly even some gameplays, some maybe with commentary, others maybe just straight up gameplays so you guys can see the game uninterrupted and playing in ladder. We'll see how that all works out, but I'll try to get as much Heart of the Swarm content to you as soon as possible. So we'll see when that all works out, so subscribe for all that. Like the video if you enjoyed, maybe even favorite, share around with all your friends, leave your comments with your thoughts down below, and submit your replays to scbranmatt@gmail.com. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.